Hey y'all, what it do? This is part 2 of my 24-hour break from my grandma duties. Yes, I'm still here in Atlanta and I'm helping out my daughter. She just had twin babies. So yes, I am contributing in a way that she wants me to. I'm not interjecting. I'm not forcing my volunteerism as some of us concerned mothers tend to do. And yeah, I know why we do that, right? We just want to help and we think we know best. But if you're going to help somebody, you need to help in a way that they feel helped and not forced, if that makes sense. So yeah, that person needs to feel that you are helping them in areas that they need help in, and that you're not forcing what you actually want to do or what you actually believe is right to do, especially when you're dealing with adult children, right? Everybody has feelings and everybody needs to be respected in a situation like that. So that is pretty much where I am. I always say, hey, you know, I'm still your mama, but I'm no longer your parent, right? Because my parenting duties are over, and now I kick in more as a consultant and advisor to my adult children, right? That's what I believe. And I believe everybody's got to make their mistakes. If I can advise you to take a more safe approach on things, I would do so. And it's really up to you as an adult, even if you're my adult child, it's really up to you to take that advice or not take that advice. So that is my approach. And that is how I choose to maintain my relationship with my adult children. Okay, so, and if you're different, hey, it is what it is. Okay, so this is part 2 of my 24-hour break from helping my daughter with her twin newborns. And yesterday, part 1, we did a lunch break, which was my first kind of breakaway from the grandma duties. We went to Mellow Mushroom. I showed you the wonderful sandwich that I got there. If you haven't seen it, please go back and watch part 1, and you'll see what I picked up there. You'll see a menu of what they have to offer. And if ever you're in the Brookhaven, Atlanta, Georgia area, then you will have another spot to choose from. Okay, and I have I think that's a good recommendation if you're just looking for a fast food spot that don't really taste too much like commercial fast food. I think that's a good spot. And my daughter did tell me that they had some good pizza there as well. And then I did have a subscriber tell me they tried the gluten-free pizza. They weren't too impressed, but hey, they said it was just okay. And I say anything to me that's gluten-free is just gonna be okay. Okay, I don't really expect too much on the flavor end of gluten-free products, but it serves its purpose, right? If you know what I mean. So today, part 2, let me go ahead and get into it. We're gonna kick it off with a cup of coffee. I'm at the McDonald's parking lot, and I'm gonna go ahead and get me a hot brew of coffee. I've been dying for a cup of coffee, and so that is what I'm doing today. That's my first treat of the day. That's gonna kick it off for me. So let's go ahead and get that started. Okay guys, so I'm at the McDonald's on Peachtree and Brookhaven. Yeah, I'm here for a pickup of the coffee with the espresso shot. Coffee with espresso shot, 1692. Okay, no problem. All right. Hey guys, I'm sorry I had to cut that short because the music was pretty loud in there and I didn't want to get a copyright strike on the platform. But yeah. So I don't know if you guys know that you can get a shot of espresso in your coffee at McDonald's, and you just customize it when you order it on the app, which is what I do. So ain't a whole lot of conversation going on. You just order it on the app, add the amount of sugar and cream you want, and then at the very bottom of that selection, you can add a shot. You can add as many shots as you want of the espresso, but they're $1 each. So for a medium-sized coffee with a shot of espresso comes up to like $3 with some tax. So yeah. And I just add extra cream and sugar. I get 3 and 3 to kind of counter the somewhat bitter taste of the espresso. Espresso is just an extra caffeine boost, but to give that a little less of a bitter flavor to the coffee, I add an extra cream and sugar. So 3 and a shot of espresso, and that's gonna get me going. Hey, $3 and plus tax is still a little bit cheaper than some of the other places we tend to want to go. You know what I mean? But I got some other things that's, you know, I like them other places. I really do, but I got some other priorities right now. So it ain't about me. It's about getting going, and then making the most of my 24-hour break time, and showing you guys, bringing you guys along too. So I want y'all to enjoy the scenery as well. So if you have already been to some of these places and you know some other places that are interesting in terms of the things that we like to do, I'm saying things we like to do because you're here either to support or you like the videos that I make. I don't know which one, but I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna take a few sips of this and drink the rest of on my way. And we are going to, we're gonna attempt to go to a university, and I think you're gonna find this interesting. I'm really interested in the history of this place. So as I'm videoing, or maybe I'll do a voiceover and give you guys a little bit of history behind this place, how it got its name. And I want to see I'm really interested in the green spaces there, since you know that's one of my primary hobbies and that's a big part of my current lifestyle is gardening. And so not only fruits and vegetables, but I'm interested in some other architecture of the lawn and how they design that as well. I think you can get some pretty good design ideas for your garden as well. I'm open to the design of gardens and landscaping and green spaces and stuff. I'm just interested in that, and hopefully in the near future I will be able to take advantage of all that I have taken in, all that you have shared with me, and things that we can talk and discuss and collaborate on in the future. So keep that in mind as we are very curious and as we learn together. So let's go ahead and get started. I done drug this out too long. So let's go ahead to our next destination and we'll talk a little bit there. Oglethorpe University. Since we are in the Brookhaven, Atlanta, Georgia area, I figured why not pick up a little bit of history of this place while we're here. Oglethorpe University is a private liberal arts university located in Brookhaven, Atlanta, Georgia. It's known for its small class sizes, personalized education, and strong emphasis on liberal arts, of course, which encourages students to develop critical thinking, communication, and problem-solving skills across a range of discipline. Now, I've been to Georgia many times, and I've been to the Atlanta area many times, but this area, as I've told you earlier in the week, is new to me, and this piece of history is new to me. So I thought it was interesting and I would share it with you. Some of the characteristics of this university, besides its being liberal arts focused, the curriculum offers a broad foundation in humanities, science, and social sciences, which also allows students to specialize in specific fields. They do have signature programs the university offer, such as core curriculum, which focuses on interdisciplinary learning, and an honors program aimed at high achieving students. They have a diverse student body. The university attracts students from across the United States and around the world, providing a rich and inclusive campus culture. It also has historical architecture, as you can see here. The campus features unique Gothic Revival architecture, including the well-known Oglethorpe Clock Tower. There's plenty of community engagement here. Oglethorpe places a strong emphasis on service learning and community involvement, encouraging their students to apply their academic knowledge to real-world issues. The university is also known for its commitment to preparing students for both professional careers and advanced studies after graduation. The Oglethorpe University campus is generally open to the public, allowing visitors to explore like what we're doing here today. And you can walk the historic grounds and facilities, including the University Museum of Art, which is not open at this moment, so it's open I think around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. However, certain areas such as the student residence, of course, and academic buildings and athletic facilities may have restricted access, particularly during academic sessions. If you're interested in specific campus tours or visiting places like the museum, it's a good idea to check for the visitor guidelines online, or you can call the university and ask them for information to ensure that you want get access to the facilities that you want to tour, especially if you want to tour large groups or special events. The word Oglethorpe was something I had to look up because I was like, what is this university really all about? I know it's a liberal arts university, but what's the history behind this? Well, Oglethorpe, if you look it up, it's a surname for James Edward Oglethorpe, which was a British general and philanthropist and the founder of the colony of Georgia in 1733. So if you lived all your life in Georgia and you didn't know that, well, you know it now. James Oglethorpe is most remembered for establishing Georgia as a haven for debtors and persecuted Protestants, shaping the state's early history. His legacy is honored in the names of various institutions, including Oglethorpe University, which is where we are today, and these grounds are beautiful. James Oglethorpe's legacy is generally viewed more positively than many other historical figures from the colonial era, particularly in the context of his stance of slavery in the early years of Georgia's founding, which sets him apart from many other colonial leaders of his time. In the original character for the colony of Georgia in 1732, slavery was prohibited, and Oglethorpe and other trustees wanted to create a society where small landowners could prosper without relying on enslaved labor. His vision was partly driven by moral concerns as well as economic and social ones. However, the ban on slavery in Georgia was lifted in 1751 after Oglethorpe had returned to England due to pressures from settlers and economic interests who believed slavery was essential for colony agricultural growth. You get it? This change and the subsequent growth of plantation slavery in Georgia still marks the state's complicated history with the institution. While Oglethorpe's personal oppositions to slavery might paint him a more positive light for African Americans compared to many of his contemporaries, his broader role as a colonial leader means his legacy is still tied to the larger colonial system, which involved land dispossession of Native Americans and the eventual introduction to slavery in Georgia. Therefore, his legacy may not be entirely unambiguous, but he is often seen as the relatively progressive figure of his era. James Edward Oglethorpe was a central figure in the early history of the state, known for his efforts to establish Georgia as a place of social reform, including his opposition to slavery and his intent to create a fair society for settlers, including poor debtors. Naming the university after him reflects the desire to honor his legacy and ideals of service, reform, and philanthropy. Oglethorpe's values aligned with the university mission to provide a liberal arts education that fosters intellectual growth, community engagement, and ethical leadership, making him a fitting namesake for an institution dedicated to education and social responsibility. So you tell me, if you live in Georgia or if you visited Georgia, did you know this piece of history? Did you know the early intent of James Edward Oglethorpe? Did you understand that his intent was to not have slave labor? That he really put an emphasis on social reform? That was the intent for the colony of Georgia. It wasn't until after he left and went back to England that slavery became more prominent in the state of Georgia. If you live here or you visited and you knew that information, let me know in the comments. If this is new information for me, for you, let me know that in the comments as well. Like I said, this is a beautiful university. The architecture alone is stunning. The grounds are beautiful. You can tell this particular green space right here in Brookhaven, right in the city. It's a town within the city of Atlanta. The green spaces here are designed. Maybe you can pick up some design tips of your own. You can look at the layout of the trees, the bushes, how the spaces are separated. If that would give you an ideal or some ideals on what you can do with your home projects, whether they're small or big projects. You can take some inspiration from spaces that are already done professionally or by commercial workers, just to enhance what you have. And like I said, you don't have to copy, you just take inspiration from it. And if you want to copy, you can do that as well. I don't think anybody's going to send you to jail for copying a layout of someone else's landscape. But I definitely do get inspiration from walking these nature trails, enjoying the green scenery that's around here. I mean, how could you not be in a good headspace when you have a green space like this available to you to enjoy? And like I said, if you live in a local area nearby, you can visit. This place is open to the public. Just don't go into any of the classrooms, don't go into any of the athletic facilities, and make sure that you're courteous and of course treating the students, the staff with courtesy. And yeah, just take some time and do a walkabout. Why not? It's available. As usual, I want to thank you for clicking on the video and taking the time out of your day or night or evening to watch the video. And I am hoping that I'm going to see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys.